Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Debategate here at the High Stakes Sports Debates Network, and I hope everybody had a good Monday. We all know that the Monday blues can get us down, so hope everybody out there is enjoying life and kicking it in the ass. I'm here with the general manager of WBNY Buffalo, Nicholas Lippa. Nick, happy Monday, brother.
Happy Monday, Tom. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm exhausted. I fell asleep before the show, man. I've been up since 4:30. I had to get the podcast out, obviously, like, super early because I got to be at work at 7. So, yeah, I'm super tired. How are you?
I took a little bit of a cat nap today, so I'm ready to go and get things going.
Very nice. So let's jump right into the content, folks. As you guys can see from the title below, we're talking Rookie Offensive Player of the Year. It's that time with 3 weeks left in the NFL season. A couple guys really come to mind: Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Todd Gurley, maybe a couple other guys sprinkled in, maybe a Tyler Lockett. Probably doesn't win it, though. So, Nick, I ask you, we're going to kick it off with you. Who's your Offensive Rookie of the Year, man?
Yeah, I got to go with Todd Gurley. The fact is he's just been monstrous. He is probably the best rookie running back I have seen since Adrian Peterson. He is just so destructive as a runner. Just his ability to turn up field, his burst through the holes, everything you saw when he was at Georgia, and you're just hoping that he was going to do that when he got to the next level, that injury wasn't going to hinder him, and it's happening. And my reasoning for Gurley is essentially, I like to look at, if you're a player of the year, how do you account for wins according to your team? That's the biggest difference.
Right.
So I look at Gurley, and I'm looking at Winston and Mariota, and while both of those players, you can make arguments for either of them and how much they've helped, this is a rare instance where I look at a running back and I go, there's just clearly, for me, no way I look at anybody else in this role, because, and this is the game that sticks out to me, that Arizona Cardinals game where Gurley came out.
Where he just wore them down in the fourth quarter.
The Cardinals have 2 losses on the year. One of those losses is to the Rams, and it's entirely because of Todd Gurley. Gurley has had essentially a poor offensive line, including Greg Robinson, who's one of the top leaders in holdings this year, a incompetent carousel of quarterbacks, and just really a injury-plagued defense. I mean, the Rams have just been completely destroyed this year.
They fell off a cliff. I mean, a couple of weeks ago in October, you were talking about them as wild card contenders. And now it's, well, you know the story.
And really, I mean, you can't put any of that on Todd Gurley. Gurley has been absolutely terrific for them, and he's helped them win a couple games here and there. And when I look at a guy like Mariota or Winston, they've helped out, but they haven't done, in my personal opinion, what Gurley has done for the Rams, or put on the performance at their individual positions, especially for what Gurley has. You can make an argument that both of those guys have been important to their team, but just what Gurley's done at his individual position has just absolutely been astonishing. He's not just one of the best rookies. He's not, in my opinion, the best rookie of the year. I think he's one of the best running backs.
He's a top 3 NFL running back. I mean, Bell and maybe Peterson are the only guys that you consider. Maybe Charles when healthy, but no, yeah, I think you make a lot of good points. It's kind of hard to argue you here. The only reason why I'm going to go with Jameis Winston, well, a couple reasons why I'm going to go with Jameis Winston. I was thinking about it pre-show. Mariota or Winston. Now, Mariota, obviously, he's been out a couple of games, but you can argue week 1 when, you know, these teams play each other once every 4 years. It just so happens that, you know, both these 2 guys that were selected number 1 and number 2 faced each other, and Mariota came out on top convincingly, too. That wasn't even a contest. I think it was like 42-14, that final score.
Yeah, Jameis opened up with a pick 6. It just was not a good showing.
Right. Yeah. Early on, you know, and again, I'm going to talk about the cons here real quick. Winston, the turnovers in the first half of the season were just dreadful. I mean, clearly you can see a guy trying to make plays, and that was a big factor of it. But the reason why I'm going with Jameis Winston, I get it was the Eagles, but that 5 touchdown performance kind of opened my eyes. It's like, here you have a rookie in the NFL who 5 touchdowns is 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's nothing to slouch at. And then when I look at Jameis Winston and what he's had around him, you've had Austin Seferian-Jenkins basically out since week 2. Vincent Jackson has been in and out of the lineup. Now, I will admit that Doug Martin found a time machine and took it back to 2012, his rookie year. Obviously, that run game has helped a lot, tremendously. But this team was 6-6 going into last week. I can't not look at that. The fact that they were in a position to at least fight for a wild card is something that I highly value. Now, I understand from a running back's perspective with Gurley, the quarterback has so much more value to his team in terms of wins. I mean, Adrian Peterson, for most of his career, outside of Favre in 2009 and outside of that 2012 miraculous, crazy season he had with 2,000 yards, he really wasn't dragging the Vikings consistently to the playoffs. But so I understand that from Gurley's perspective. When I look at Jameis Winston, what he can do in the fourth quarter for your football team, you believe with Winston, and guys from Florida State could talk about it. Guys in the NFL were talking about it this year. You truly believe that you have a chance to win when that kid's under center. And I think that there are some serious good things to come from him in the future. I would like to see the turnovers go down, but they have over the last 6 weeks. I think he hasn't thrown many, 2 or 3 at most. I just think, in a tough South where obviously you've got an undefeated team, the Falcons started off hot. I mean, the AFC South with Mariota, obviously it's been underwhelming most of the year. I just think with what Winston was able to do with the lack of talent around him, I'm still not really sold on Lovie Smith as a head coach. This team was in games because of Marcus Mariota. What are your thoughts? Jameis Winston. What are your thoughts on that?
I go back to history for this one, from my perspective, and it comes down to me is a great Rookie of the Year battle, but there was a great one between Vince Young and Devin Hester. And Vince Young finished the year 8-8 at the quarterback of the Titans, and everybody's like, oh, Vince Young is the hot new thing. He's so good. Look at everything he's offering. And meanwhile, here's this rookie, Devin Hester, who's breaking kickoff return touchdown records.
Yeah, he should have won that. That's crazy.
But that's the thing, though, is I look at who's better value overall to their team from their position that they're at and how they're contributing. And for me right now, I mean, quarterback's always going to be important because, one, the quarterback is the guy who's usually moving the ball on third down as well as moving the ball in critical situations or as a part of that. And that's really where that makes it. The running back, though, helps set the table. And Gurley is arguably the best back at setting your table in the league as far as what you're doing as a game plan is concerned and what you're doing pre-critical situations and pre-third down. That's really what Gurley's role is. And when you look at history like Young versus Hester, it's easy to go and just get swarmed up by, it's the quarterback, this flashy play that he makes, this fancy comeback that he makes happen. But then you see the inconsistency that I get out of what's like this game against New Orleans this previous Sunday. You look at it and you go, this is a game you got to win. This is a game that you got to be more consistent in this game, hitting your receivers, making those plays against what is one of the worst defenses of all time.
I'll admit you're right about that.
And I just look at Gurley and I go, this guy's a monster. Yeah. There's really the only thing that can stop him is truly the total and utter deconstruction of the team around him, basically holding him back.
And that's where I was going to go because, I mean, outside of this past week, Gurley basically was invisible, but I mean, who's his quarterback? Who are his outside receivers? I mean, you look at a guy like Le'Veon Bell, and I think he's really talented, but when you've got Martavis Bryant stretching the field and Antonio Brown and Big Ben, obviously that's going to open things up for you. I remember watching an NFL Network segment or whatever a couple weeks ago. There was a point in time during that, I forgot which game they were talking about, but there were literally 9 defenders in the box there to stop Gurley because there's no one else on that football team that I can point to and say, you can beat me.
Nobody's afraid of Kenny Britt. Nobody's afraid of Kenny Britt. And that's really what it comes down to is that there's no help for Gurley right now. And you can even see sometimes when they do that, it doesn't even matter. Gurley still breaks out. He is the elite of the elite. He is going to be the best running back in the NFL.
Is he a top 5 fantasy pick next year?
I would argue he may be number 1 overall.
Interesting.
Depending on what the Rams do, obviously. That's going to hinder his production. But the fact of the matter is he is young AP. And if you have to have a selection of fantasy between young AP and old AP, who are you going to select?
Take young AP.
You got to take young AP. It's young man's game.
Who is your number 2 then right now? Is it Mariota, Winston, or is there someone else I'm forgetting?
If I had to go for the number 2 for Rookie of the Year, no, those are the 3 main guys right now. Lockett's not going to get done. About 5 weeks ago, you could have made a recommendation like, hey, what about Stephon Diggs? But the Vikings game plan.
They don't like to use him. Yeah.
They don't want to win, so they like to lose. They want to run AP 100 times and then not mix in the run and the pass because that's how you win games when you have a quarterback like Teddy Bridgewater.
Exactly.
But
and
so
he's
the real
guy,
he is. But my guy is going to be Winston at the number 2 spot at this point because of really what Winston's done the second half of the season. Right. He's been much better. He's shown an ability to protect the ball, including when running the ball, although he gave everybody a scare with that Cowboys game.
Oh, yeah. Let's not mistake this guy for Cam Newton, okay? This guy looks like, what is he? He really lives up to that. What did he have, like a 4.9 40, something like that at the Combine?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, hey, he does get it done with his legs. So
he did it, as evidenced even in the game against the Saints yesterday. He still did it, and he did a great job. There's a play where he clearly should have been tackled and somehow comes out of the pile. I have no idea how he doesn't go down and comes up with the first down.
That play was crazy. Crazy.
So Winston right now is my number 2 guy, but him and Mariota are very close together. And again, Winston has had more help. Martin's been great. Evans and Jackson are your receivers. Austin Seferian-Jenkins is going to be a good tight end in this league.
I think he will. Again, though, he's been out of the lineup all year. So was V-Jax, and teams have really been able to key in on Evans and take him away. He doesn't even look like the number 7 overall pick that he was in 2014. No, I don't know where he's been.
He's been covered a lot, But, you look at Mariota, and, okay, so you say they can focus in on him. Let's talk about Mariota for a second.
Oh, yeah, I know. DGB.
DGB's finally coming into his own this year, and the only guy else that you could say has been consistent on the team is Delaney Walker.
And
if we're comparing Delaney Walker to Mike Evans' passing options, there's no comparison.
I'm with you there.
They're both going to be good, in my opinion, and Jameis has shown that he can win when the tools are healthy, that offense can click, and there was a couple examples this year of that happening in previous games. And you know what? The Bucs still have a chance at the playoffs as today speaks. The Vikings have to go out and execute their wins here. Right. They can't go to sleep here.
That'll be very exciting to watch. So this was our Rookie of the Year offensive debate. Thank you, Nick, for joining the show. Once again, we really appreciate it. Nick, Todd Gurley. I'm going with famous Jameis Winston. You let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Maybe there's somebody we forgot. Maybe you guys like Marcus Mariota. So tell us and let us know. If you guys haven't checked out WBNY Buffalo, please go ahead and do so. Just an assortment of great talent, great work, great broadcasting. Used to be a part of it. Nick's the GM, so you know it's good stuff there. If you haven't checked out Dynasty Nerds and Rebel Media, please go ahead and do so. I write for them. They got a great podcast, great stuff. We'll be talking more football. Me and Nick will be back talking the NFC East. Who's going to win that race after tonight's Monday Night Football game? Also, the Fantasy First podcast came out. Week 14, wild card weekend, baby. I was knocked out in most of my leagues. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, voice your opinions. Let us know. If you like the content, you like what Nick Lip has to say, and I have to say, show some love to those thumbs. We would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time here at High Stakes. High Stakes Sports Debates.